2024 was our best year for farm income with over 250% growth. Welcome to the Rigan Farm YouTube channel. My name's Nick, and my wife Ashley and I own and operate Rigan Farm here in Talking Rock, Georgia. We haven't posted many videos in the last year because we've been focusing so much on building our business. Now that it's winter, we have a little extra time to focus on the YouTube channel. For anyone new to the channel, I'll give you a quick synopsis of our farm's history. We came up with the idea to start the farm in November of 2019, bought our property in April of 2020, moved to the property in October of 2021, and we've been doing our best to start a farm from scratch ever since then. You can watch our past videos to see a little bit more about that. First, we'll talk about past sales. 2022 was our first full year here on the farm, and we only made $8,544. That's not profit, that is just income by selling stuff on the farm. 2023 was a lot better. We actually did $18,863 in sales, which is about a 121% increase. Luckily, 2024 was a lot better. 2024 was different from 2023 in three very significant ways. The first one was the fact that we actually quit our jobs and focused on the farm full time. Really, that didn't start until about spring, early summer of 2024, but we'll go ahead and just consider that for 2024. The second thing we did to boost our income was we got our cottage food license that allows us to sell baked goods and other shelf-stable food items while we're at the farmer's market or here at the farm. The third and maybe most significant difference was that we started doing different things to reach a broader customer base. Deciding to quit our jobs to focus on the farm full-time was not an easy decision. We had to take a leap of faith that we'd have enough money to run the business, invest into the business to grow even more, and still be able to pay our bills. We have 4 children, so our work schedules had to be pretty much opposites so that someone would always be home with the kids when they weren't in school. Because Ashley and I are the only 2 employees at the farm, it made working on projects pretty difficult when we were working opposite shifts. Now that we're both here every day, we're able to focus all of our attention on the farm and our family. Introducing baked goods to our farmers market setup has been really great at boosting our weekly sales. One of the ways we spent all this extra time together was developing a new line of organic baked goods. We had to get our cottage food license to be able to sell these, and that process was pretty simple and relatively low cost. Working on the baked goods really didn't take away that much from the agricultural side of things, because we were able to either do stuff early in the morning before the sun would come up, or we'd do things after the kids were in bed late at night when we couldn't really do anything outside anyway. Pretty much the only good thing about staying up until midnight working on sourdough is the fact that the loaves are super fresh the next morning at the farmer's market. I'll go ahead and share with you exactly how much money we made on breads and other treats a little bit later in this video. A huge way we were able to increase our sales was by doing more than just one farmer's market per week. We would do the same Saturday market every week, but we'd also pick up one additional midweek market. One of the markets we did every other Wednesday, and the other we did every other Friday. The Friday market was pretty hit or miss for us, and a lot of the customers that went to that market were also regular customers at our Saturday market, so we eventually started doing the Wednesday market every week instead of every other week and cut out that Friday market entirely. Going into 2025, we might change up our Saturday markets to hit 2 completely different customer bases every other week. We haven't really decided on that yet. The first 2 months of farmers markets in 2024 were incredible, and that was our sole reason for quitting our jobs, was because we were going to be able to make so much money focusing on the farmers markets. Unfortunately, other markets in the area started opening up, and the customer flow into those markets kind of lessened, and our sales lessened as a result. We realized pretty quickly we needed to do something else to capture even more sales. The way we started doing that was offering weekly deliveries. Basically how that works is we send out a weekly email for people who sign up. They see everything we have available and their prices, and they respond with everything they want to order, and then we send them an invoice. As long as they pay by the due date, we drop off their orders at specific drop-off locations. We're doing 3 currently, one right after the other on Friday afternoons. There are still some kinks that we need to work out with that, because the people actually have to order via email, and then I have to respond to that email, but inventory is pretty inconsistent on a day-to-day basis when it comes to things like milk and eggs. The really great thing about doing these deliveries is most of the customers that opt for them wouldn't normally come up to the farmer's market because we're driving almost an hour away, but we're doing 3 different stops, so we're hitting 3 different towns, basically from our place and south towards the city. Another strategy we've used to help boost sales, both at the market and through our deliveries, is doing bundles. Ashley and I went to the Carolina Meat Conference this past summer, and we learned a lot of things about running a profitable farm. One of the biggest takeaways from that convention was bundling different products in order to increase your overall sales. One example of the bundles we offer, which happens to be our most popular bundle, is called the Breakfast Bundle. In that bundle, our customers get 1 loaf of our organic sourdough bread. They also get 1 dozen of our pasture-raised eggs and 1 pound of breakfast meat, their choice. A lot of our customers usually only want to buy 1 or 2 of those things in one transaction, so it's a really easy add-on to say, hey, you're already getting eggs and sourdough, why don't you throw in a pound of sausage and save yourself $3? We've already been selling whole and half pigs, which are pretty large bundles, at a pretty good discount, but a lot of people don't have the freezer space, nor do they have the need for like 75 to 150 pounds of meat. So we've been offering some smaller pork bundles that give them a selection of different things kind of based on what they like to do. You can check out our website if you want to see what those are all about. Our biggest project that we worked on in 2024 didn't really have that much of an impact on our sales, but it will make a huge difference in 2025 and all the years going forward. And that project is actually right behind me. One of my best friends would come over on the weekends and help me put up this fence. We fenced in 9.5 acres of our property, and that's currently divided in an 8-acre paddock and an 1.5 acre paddock. We have our goats and sheep in the 8 acres, and we have a steer and cow in the 1.5 acres. It only took us about somewhere between 400 and 500 hours to do it. I got a lot of video footage while we were working on the fence, so we'll be making a video about that, and it'll include how I was able to get all the fencing done for free. We plan on doing a lot of cross-fencing in 2025, so we'll be able to rotationally graze the animals and have really good pasture management. None of our 2024 numbers include any beef or lamb sales because we haven't processed any yet. We do have about a week's worth of milk sales, which I'll include when going through the numbers in just a moment. We're also about to put in 80 fruit trees in our orchard, so some of the 2025 sales might include some fruit, but really it's going to be more of like a 2 to 3 year wait until we actually get some decent harvests on those. Before we get into the numbers of our 2024 sales, I do want to mention that we are about to close on an FSA loan that's going to give us the capital to make some major investments on the farm. So we're going to be posting a lot of stuff about that whole process and all of the things that we'll be able to do with that money. Okay, enough about that. Let's talk numbers. We use Wix.com for our website and our POS, so it makes things very easy to track with all of the analytics they have built into their system. Because of that, I was able to break up our sales into several different categories: pork, eggs, milk, produce, baked goods, soap, books, digital and social media, and agricultural programs. I'm also going to have a miscellaneous category for things that we don't really track through our POS that are kind of a one-off deal. Our pork sales were $21,277, and that equated to almost 32% of our total revenue for 2024. Our egg sales were $3,904, and that was about 6% of our sales. Milk sales were $245, which is pretty good for only 1 week's worth of milking. Our produce sales were only $1,080, but we've been spending a lot of time actually improving our garden, and we're going to be getting some high tunnel hoop houses really soon to help us tremendously with the amount of things we're going to be able to grow, and it'll also do a great job at season extension. So expect our produce numbers to go up quite a lot this year. Adding in baked goods was pretty good for our sales because we sold $8,226 worth. That was 12.5% of our sales. So 1/8 of our sales came from this new business venture. Soap sales were $2,410. Not too bad. Actually a little bit less than 2023, but we haven't been focusing on that quite as much. In 2023, we wrote and published a cookbook called Foodie Farmers, A Culinary Journey from Farm to Table, and our 2024 sales from that were $1,121. We have a digital and social media category, so that includes things like YouTube and Facebook. Also, we've created a lot of digital content like expense reports and other things that we use to help track our sales. Our total digital and social media was $4,795. The next category is where we made 33% of our total income, and and that was agricultural program payments. Basically what that means is the NRCS, which is a division of the USDA, came out to our farm and suggested some improvements to make our farm better, and they actually did a cost share program with us to help with the cost of different farm improvements. They don't completely pay for everything, but you do have to track the checks that they send you as income for the farm. And the total amount we got in those checks was $22,050. So our miscellaneous category, which is things that were kind of a one-off, like we sold some bunnies, we sold some shirts, we mentioned that we got some trees that we're putting into our orchard soon. We actually sold some of those because we were picking them up from a wholesaler. Those aren't things we do regularly, and they didn't go through our POS, so that's why I put them in the miscellaneous section. Our total miscellaneous sales was $1,616. Adding up all of the sales that we had in 2024 gives us a grand total of $66,725. Comment below if you think we should make a video about how much it cost to make that much money. If you don't already, make sure you subscribe to our channel because we're going to be going into a lot of detail about those NRCS programs and how you're able to essentially get free money towards your farm. In addition to the fencing, they're also helping pay for those hoop houses I mentioned earlier, and they're going to drill a well to irrigate those hoop houses. Basically, about $50,000 in free money that the USDA is giving us. And that doesn't even include everything they're going to do when they come out for their inspection this year. We might get another 50 grand worth of free money. I know this is going to be a fantastic year for us, and we're going to do at least another 200% more in growth than we did last year. By the end of 2028, we should be in full production from our orchard, our beef, milk, and all the other things we've been doing already. So we should be hitting at least $250,000 a year in sales. And our expenses are going to be significantly less than they have been because the infrastructure will already be there, the animals will already be there, and our regenerative farming practices will actually make things easier and cheaper to keep going and maintain. Make sure you follow along on our journey to see all that we do here on Rigan Farm. We'll see you next time.